Okay. So start with the prayer. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. So, good morning, Hari Om. So we thank God and Guru for bringing us all on this platform to think about God, to think about Lord Krishna and his teachings. So one more day of Bhagavad Gita. Very nice. Okay, where is Padmaja? She is not here. So we'll quickly recall what we did last Saturday. And then we'll move to the next. All right. So this is the first shloka of Dhyana Yoga, chapter 6. And if you read the shloka, it is very curious that instead of straight away talking about dhyana, again Krishna talks about karma yoga here. He says, Anashritaha karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyaha. Means the one who does his prescribed duties without desiring the results of their actions are the actual sannyasis and the yogis, and not those who have merely stopped performing sacrifices such as Agnihotra or abandoned all the bodily activities. This Agnihotra, etc., and all that was a lifestyle during when Krishna was teaching this. That was the lifestyle. A real sannyasi would do all this. Keep the Agnihotra burning through 24 hours and all those he used to do. No, Agnihotra Yagna is done by householders. Abandoning bodily activities is by a proper sannyasi who has taken the vows of monkhood. So he is clearly saying here that for Gruhastas, all of us here, and Arjuna who was a Gruhasta, doing the duty is the real sannyasa. Being in Gruhastashrama and dropping the desire for results, that is very, very tough. Just stopping doing everything, nanenu madala anta kutkodu, that's not, that might be tough, but it is still easier than doing something without anashrita karma phalam, not taking recourse to the results of karma. Okay, this was what we discussed in chapter, the verse 1. Anybody wants to add to this? Rahul was not there. You want to say something about this, Rahul? Why is Krishna talking about karma yoga again before dhyana yoga here? The title is Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. Any thoughts?
I think reiterating the Karmanyavadikaraste shloka once again, I think that matte adukku link tagolo hagidre as the second line of that shloka. So ma karma phala heturbur mate sangosta karmani. So just because I'm not supposed to think about the fruits of action, I'm not supposed to remain in inaction. And so ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತೂ ಖಂಡಿತ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. So the karma is definitely my duty I am supposed to do. So I think
assuring, I don't think that, it's an assurance and a reiteration, like you said. But why stress in the chapter beginning of Dhyana Yoga? Why is he stressing this? Any thoughts? Okay, anybody else? We recalled a few points on this. Anybody else can recall why it was stressed again, this why the stress on karma in a chapter beginning on dhyana? Yaru helalva? That was precisely the Deepa's question, right? Last week we started with Deepa. Deepa was very worried that I don't know how to do dhyana. I cannot sit in samadhi for a long time and all that. She had a problem. So here it is the answer. As a householder, don't worry about it. Go do your karma without fear. I'll come to dhyana, you wait. Right now, what you have to focus on is karma. That is what Krishna is saying, isn't it?
Shall I read that, ma? 6.1 alva.
6.1.
Okay. Some people think that one who wears the robes, mala, is a sannyasi. Others think that one who lives in solitude in a mountain cave, having given up all work, is a yogi. These are external things only, conditions. No one can claim to be a sannyasi or yogi by these externals. The inner impurities of the mind should be cleared,
Yes.
the attachment should be given up, and the desire for enjoyment should be relinquished. Inner purification comes first, and then only external renunciation. It is only then that one may mightily be recognized as a sannyasi or yogi. The real attributes of a perfected sage are the performance of prescribed duties and action without desire for the fruits of work. Freedom from attachment of any kind is the sign of sannyasi. Desireless performance of good work is the mark of a yogi. The Lord emphatically condemns the idlers and pretenders who are neither useful citizens nor enlightened guides of the community.
Yes. Correct. So the main point I would like to pick up from here is idlers. Of course, idling is not recommended, and it is for inner purification that karma yoga is very important. That's the main point here. So, like we said last time, for bhakti, one doesn't need any preparation. At any point of time, wherever you are, you can start getting to bhakti. Okay, suddenly you can start chanting the name of the Lord, and it will start purifying you. It will start acting immediately. And karma also, we are always doing karma. What we need is just a titration in our attitude, how to do karma anta, as a yoga. But for dhyana, it requires a lot of preparation, because sitting quietly is not in the nature of the mind, isn't it? We cannot sit quietly. How is it possible? And what will you do sitting quietly? What sort of thoughts will come to you if you're sitting quietly? All the impure vasanas that we have, they only will come out. There is nothing else. That is why the mind has to be trained into thinking of Bhagwan. Only then the mind will be able to sit. With jnana, only dhyana has to be done, has to be pursued. With jnana. Without jnana, if you are simply sitting quietly and if you can do 2,000 names of the Lord, but the mind, even that will purify you. But with jnana, it is so much more effective. This is the main message of this shloka. Okay, and that is why even for in Sanatana Dharma, it is recommended. You have to go through all the ashramas of life. You cannot jump into sannyasa. Okay, so we have brahmacharya, and then we have gruhastha, and then vanaprastha, and then sannyasa. So as gruhasthas and brahmacharis, we have a little girl also here. So we have to go through the stages of life, and we have to do our duties and learn through life. We have to learn whatever it is, and then we become more mature, and then only we are eligible for even dhyana. Dhyana is also not easy. Okay. So on these lines, we will go to the next shloka, which is more of the same. And we can chant, all of us can chant this shloka. So this is 6.3. Then he continues, Arurukshor muner yogam karma karanamuchyate yoga rudhasya tasyaiva shamah karanamuchyate. Yes, who wants to chat? Chant.
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव समः कारणम् उच्यते.
Very good.
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
Very good.
आरुर्योग कर्मः कारणमुच्यते योगरूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
Okay.
आरुरक्षोर्मुनिर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनिर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
Okay.
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनिर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
Nice.
आरुरुक्षो मुनेर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
Okay.
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनिर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते.
Very good. So, what is being said here? Arurukshor munehe. Arurukshor is the one who is beginning. Okay. In this whole journey of converting everything into yoga. For the beginner, karma itself is the method for perfection in yoga. And for yoga rudhasya, one who is already perfected in yoga, what does he do? A saint, a sage, like Ramana, or not, I mean, he's totally enlightened. Otherwise, the sannyasis and the monks have taken this order and they have done all these sadhanas. And for them, what do they do? For them, shamaha. For them, sitting quietly in meditation, that is the path. So again, he is saying the same things. At what stage of life, what you're supposed to do is being reiterated here. So what are we doing here? What are the stage that we are in? Arurukshaha, isn't it? We are all beginners, right? Any thoughts on this shloka?
To achieve success in Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga, action is said to be the means. When success is attained in yoga and the mind approaches steadiness in the self, a quiescent state free from action is said to be the means for deeper union with the self. Therefore, in the early stages of meditation, purity has to be acquired by the practice of Nishkama Karma. Afterward, as the mind becomes firm and steady by its purity, action should be gradually reduced. It means that as the aspirant approaches the self nearer and nearer, action drops off of its own accord, even as dry leaves fall from the tree. The field of activity is thus transferred from the external world to the inner realm of the human personality. Hearing of Atma, thinking of Atma, meditating on Atma, the seeker is disinclined to come out of the inner pursuit to act active functions of the outer world with the body and the senses. He finds supreme satisfaction in being absorbed in the self. The turbulence of the bodily organs and the senses is quelled. The seeker has no use for them because the mind and the intellect are turned within, and the ascent towards the self is maintained steadily. Such quietude of the physical and mental mechanism will enable him ultimately to reach the state where there are no thought modification and the self is directly realized.
Okay. So in one line, what will you say about this? ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೇನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದೇನೆ, ಆತ್ಮದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಇದು ಮೀ ಅನ್ನೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸೊ he should always meditate, he should go always within himself ಅಂತ.
ಹಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು? ಇಬ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಆತ್ಮ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಅಂತಂದವಾಗ ಅದು ನಮ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ ತರ ಅದು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ.
ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್.
ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್.
ಸರಿ. ಆಲ್ ರೈಟ್. Padmaja, you want to say something? Welcome.
Yeah. So here actually Lord Krishna is telling about two kinds of people. One are beginners and the other ones are proficient.
Correct.
So the beginners who are aspiring for yoga, the path of karma yoga is suitable for them, because we can't tell them directly go into meditation and all, because they are still at a beginner level, you know.
Right.
So for them, they have to do their karma, their duty with all sincerity, whatever they are doing. So that leads to, when they are performing the karma yoga, it leads to the purification of the mind. It enhances their spiritual knowledge, that way. And that's how they will proceed towards the proficiency or whatever. So once the mind is purified and we advance in yoga, then is the time when you can leave that karma yoga and take it to karma sannyasa, basically. So then the material activities at that particular stage, the material activities do not serve any purpose. And meditation now becomes the mean, and that is becomes for the proficient or advanced, and those who are elevated in yoga, karma sannyasa path is suitable. So yoga is like a ladder to reach the supreme or the God. So that's in short.
It's a ladder. Yes. Very nice. Okay. Right. Sneha?
Yes. So after I started attending the Dharma Kshetra classes, is when I kind of, although very infrequently, there have been few occasions when I have completely devoted whatever I'm doing to God. It's an attempt, but yeah, it has happened. I mean, and after such an action, I mean, it can be anything that I'm doing. It can be some cooking or some cleaning or anything. It can be anything. It has given me that, a lot of contentment and satisfaction. I mean, these are understatements. These words, content, satisfaction. But I mean, I feel it's godliness, that feeling.
See, so beautiful.
That's what it is. The gist of the shloka. I'm an Aru Ruksha. I'm a beginner. So for me, these few occasions have been so good. Have been meditative, I would say.
See, that is what happens when you turn karma into yoga.
I'm continuously trying. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm continuously trying. I am getting digressed and diverted and distracted and all that. But yes, at least this thought is there. Thanks to Dharma Kshetra, I've been introduced to this phenomenon, I would say.
Wonderful. It is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Digressing and all is fine, because see, there are four ways we do karma. What are the 4 ways? Yaar heltira? Kaya, vacha, manasa.
Kaya, vacha, manasa, buddhya.
So, at any point of time, at least one of them is engaged, it is good enough. The body is engaged in karma yoga. See, when you are acting very intensely, suppose you are singing, for example, there is no time to think that I am doing yoga and all that. Alva. So, itself is a yoga. Not thinking of anything else itself is a yoga. That is the main problem with us, no? Distraction is the main problem. When you are doing, your body is doing something, your mind is doing something else. When you're doing something very intensely, there is only action, that is yoga, kaya. Manasa, you can be doing your dishes very mechanically, but your mind can be engaged in some, you might be thinking of a beautiful song also. As you're a singer, you can be thinking of a beautiful Tyagaraja Kirtana, which is full of bhakti. The mind can also be engaged in thoughts of Krishna. Alva. Kaya, vacha, manasa, vacha. While speaking, that's what we are doing all right now. But the speech is a very, very important. While we are speaking, when we are angry, when we are upset, when we are frustrated, we tend to say a lot of things which we don't mean, and they are so dangerous. That is very, very, that free will that one has, that vasana bubbles up from within, and before I utter whatever I want to utter, that little window of free will that I have, that should be activated.
Right.
Helbardu. Better keep quiet. That is shama. That is control that we have to practice in speech. Isn't it? So it comes very spontaneously to most of us, isn't it?
Yes.
And that is what is most damaging.
Right.
To our own peace of mind. Forget about the other person. The I who say it, I will suffer for the longest time when I say something hurtful or bad or negative, and also if I waste my time these days, like Sneha said, after Dharma Kshetra and all these, after Prabhuji's teachings and all, wasting my time talking about nonsense, that also makes one guilty. Why am I talking? For example, the utter nonsensical current affairs that we all invariably engage in, either on social media or on some responding to something that someone said and worrying about the state of the country and the world and all that. It might be very morally this thing. I am worried about my country and that, but at the end of it, what am I doing? I'm just corrupting my own mind and talking about wasting my energies on something which I cannot do anything about right now. See, that's the crux of it. Can I do anything about the state of the country? If I can't, then just give it the minimum attention and drop it. No need to agonize over it, haglu ratri. Alva.
No, it's another thing to be.
Huh?
It's also our duty to be aware of what's happening around.
Be aware. And then?
That's it.
Yeah.
Not opinions, I feel.
Not moping about it, not worrying about it, not worrying what will happen to my next generation, 3 generations, or not worrying about what happened 5 generations ago and how beautiful it was. It's so futile. Awareness is fine. Ashte. But continuously engaging in that vacha, we are wasting anta.
Yes.
Better be silent. That, so much of energy is being leaking.
Yes.
Kaya, vacha, manasa, and buddhya. Intellectually also. Let's discuss all this. Of course, you can't find all the time people to discuss all this. But then whenever possible, contemplate on that. That is called as nididhyasa. That is dhyana. Nididhyasa is our Vedantic meditation. Dhyana, athara. Alla helakella easy ansate, chanagide ansate, but more and more and more and more we can adopt this, I think, in life. So people, of course, around us will feel this is a useless person. She doesn't engage with the world. She is very moral high ground. Ella ಹೇಳ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. Everyone, it is very natural that people around us will feel that we are very strange creatures. We don't. They think we are indifferent. It is not the case. Okay, you are very, very different. So what are you doing about it? You should ask them. You are discussing politics for 10 hours a day. What have you achieved? Have you contributed anything to the betterment of whatever condition you are talking about? Not even nothing you can do about it.
Just about 2 days back, 2 weeks back, there was one camp organized for my son in that camp, the coach has to come. And for some reason, the coach didn't come for 2 days. So outside, there was a parent who was telling, this coach, no, simply not coming and not doing anything. So I said, did you inform somebody? No, they don't know. Huh? Why should I inform? But he is supposed to come. No, see what is happening. Now children are simply wasting time. So I said, yeah, that I understand, I can see. But what are you doing for it?
Exactly.
You do something. No, why should I do what they can't see? Yeah? So then there's no point arguing with that person. But he is talking so much. He's talking, everybody is telling this coach is not good. He's not coming. He's not doing, the committee is not doing anything. Then I just wrote one message to that committee, whoever is the main person. I said, the coach is not coming for the past 2 days. So please, the children are wasting time. So, you'd have to, we need to find someone else if he's not coming. He said, no, ma'am, he's a little sick, but he'll come tomorrow. And then he came. So I think instead of wasting time and talking, and then there was no point for me to argue with that person for long.
Correct.
So
done.
Over.
Correct. That's right.
So you involve with the world when it is required, needed. And unnecessarily ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು, ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾಪ ಅವ್ರ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಬೈಯೋದು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸೋ ಅನ್ಫೇರ್, ರೈಟ್?
They don't understand also.
We don't know the big picture, so we should not indulge in all this. That is also vacha. That is also karma by vak. That man, the other fellow who was unnecessarily complaining, he's wasting his vak by talking.
Not with one person. Everybody went on telling like this. What is this people think and all that.
So see, these little things we can become aware of. That's all we can do as at this stage. We can do that, no? And at the end of the day, somebody told this is a ladder, Aru Rukshaha. We are climbing the ladder. So at every step, this is what we have to drop something and catch hold of the higher ranga, alva? So how do we do that? Day by day, they being aware of kaya, vacha, manasa, buddhya. What am I doing? Because remember, we are in the middle of the Bhagavad Gita, and at every stage, every shloka, every verse, Krishna is telling Arjuna, think of me, think of me, think of me, think of me. Even when you are doing karma, do it as a yoga. When you are talking, do it as a yoga. When you are thinking, ellanu convert everything into yoga. I am the beginning, I am the end, I am the center, I am everything. Think of me. Ashte message of the Gita. Ananyas chintayanto mam. Ye janaha paryupasate. Tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. What will happen? What's in it for me if I think of Krishna? He says, don't worry about anything. I will take care of your needs. I will take care of your yoga. Yoga andre eno? Whatever you don't have, I will give you. And I will take care of your... One nimsha. Okay, sorry. So Krishna says, I will take care. So that might be one question. Okay, if I go on thinking about Krishna all the time, who will take care of my life? So first of all, Krishna is saying, you do your karma, Baba. I'm not saying you don't do, but do it thinking about me. When you do that, I will take care of your yoga. Yoga means I will give you what you lack in life. Health irbodu, health, wealth, prosperity, peace of mind, everything I will give you. And then I'll take care of the kshema also. Kshema is, I will protect whatever you already have. Whatever you have, you don't worry about, I will lose this, I will lose that, anta. So when so much of assurance Krishna is giving you, giving us, we should take his words at face level, face value. Yes, that's what it is. Ashte. No need to fret too much about the state of affairs, basically, of my little life also. My little life with my little family seems a huge thing to me, of course, because I'm looking at it from a very, very limited I, me, myself point of view. But the big picture is, I'm larger than this. Isn't it? So always have the big picture in mind and surrender to Krishna. That's what he's saying all the time. That's all there is. That's the only message of the Gita. Nothing more. Okay, so we come to the Heli Rama.
What Chinmaya has said in this context, I will just read it out. Very small thing.
Sure.
In the beginning, we are merely workers in the world, desire prompted and ego driven. We sweat and toil, weep and sob. When an individual gets tired of such activities, he comes to desire to mount the steed of the mind. Such an individual, desiring to bring the mind under his control and rise over it, takes upon himself the same work as before, but without the ego and egocentric desires. Such desireless activities undertaken in the yajna spirit cleanse the mind of its past impressions and integrate the entire inner equipment. When thus the required amount of concentration has been gained by the individual as a result of the vasana purgation effected, he is to stop his activities slowly and apply himself more and more to live in deeper meditation. When once his mind has been conquered and his agitations have become well controlled, the seeker in that state of mental growth and development is termed as having mounted the steed of the mind. Okay. To such an individual in that state of mental equipoise and self-application, quiescence, that is sama, is the means for gaining higher perfection and self-growth. So what as Chinmaya has said about this sloka.
Very good. So the steed of the mind has to be mounted. Okay, and it is not just one steed, it is 5. Krishna is controlling 5 horses, right? Why? What are the 5? The 5 sense perceptions. Sound, taste, smell, touch, and sound, everything. So 5 sense perceptions, those are the ones which are distracting us all the time. So that has to be mounted. And Krishna has to become the Sarathi of the mind. Isn't it? So that's the whole idea here. So we give the reins of the mind to Krishna and then listen to the Gita. Right. Yeah, this one word she used, Vasana Kshaya, is important. For as we climb the ladder, what we have to drop is the Vasanas. That's what is keeping us down, no? That's what is the heavy weight, which is not allowing us to climb fast. So how do we do this Vasana Kshaya on a day-to-day basis? Can we do something about it on a day-to-day basis, Vasana Kshaya? How can we drop our the impressions and the actual patterns of behavior that we have? Yes.
Yeah, reducing egocentric, I feel.
Correct.
We have to reduce our egocentric
behavior
and do it without selfless thinking. That's what.
Self-centeredness has to be reduced and we have to be more inclusive. Correct. Yes, Padma.
Don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. Whatever you see or hear or do, or don't be attached to the result. If it is you're doing with your hands, adge madidre oh tumba chanagide tumba chanagilla, do your best and leave it at that. Don't give reactions to your actions.
Very good, Jayashree. Correct. Yes. Anything else? Everyone can share a little of whatever the insight about this. Day-to-day activities, how can we become purer? Kaya, vacha, manasa, buddhya. Anything else?
All the time we have to see that, in this particular activity, what is the higher thing? So attached to the higher, the lower will automatically drop off. Is what I'm doing is it comes in which category, higher or lower? Lower means just it will go off. Attach yourself to the higher one.
Wonderful.
Look at the little bit bigger picture. That's all.
Very good.
It's also by dropping all the negative thoughts. Again, I think it's connected with ego only.
Correct.
So, like, for example, if I have to do the dishes, the first thought that comes to my mind is, I mean, very naturally is, oh, it's so boring.
Yes.
It's drop that. I feel just drop that.
Just become aware of it, it will drop. Correct.
Yes.
I'm thinking on these lines, Anta, one thought bantakshna, it's like shining a torch into a dark cave. The moment you shine the torch, the darkness is gone. It is lit. So light the corners of the mind. Hudki nam thoughts na light bitta irbeku. That's it. It's so nice. Yeah.
Purnima, Shweta, I don't know who just talked about dishes. But just on those lines, right? Yeah, I, you know, at the end of the day, that's the last chore I even want to do, right, before going to bed. But it's also nice to wake up for no dishes in the morning. So what I started to do is, you know, I'll pay for it in the morning. It's either night or morning. So I start the Bhagavad Gita. I've started to listen to some of the shlokas because, you know,
correct.
I'm not good with a lot of this recital and everything. So I try to listen and recite. So by the time I'm done with one shloka, my dishes are done. I'm like, yeah, you know, some accomplishment at the end of the day. So that's how I kind of, I either do that or I'm listening to a TED talk or something. So my concentration is somewhere, but yeah, I mean, so the attachment goes somewhere else. I'm not attached to the dishes at that point. So I try to distract myself that way.
Actually, it's a window for us to listen to, like Shweta
something.
Yeah, to a TED talk or to some music or to some discourse, you know, it's a window. That mechanical action is a great stress buster, in fact.
Yeah.
You want to, but yeah, it can, a sink full of dishes is rather depressing to watch at first. But then, yes, now we have learned to convert it.
Right. So actually, my point is, see, again, you know, it's, I mean, the thought, just the thought that, oh, it's so mechanical, it's so boring, drop it. And I feel we can try to maximize our efficiency in completing that chore.
Yes.
If we are completely focused on it, and again, you know, dedicated to a higher altar.
Yes.
Something as simple as doing the dishes, even that can be dedicated to something higher, and our efficiency will naturally be maximized at it. And we can think of ways of doing it, you know, faster and better also. That makes sense.
Yes, correct. So I have this favorite story of a guy who was working in a supermarket forever. Okay. And what was his job? His job was to select the cabbages to be put for sale. Okay. He was working in a big store, you know, huge store where they had thousands of cabbages coming in. And so those cabbages used to pass through a, what's that called?
Conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt, yes, sir. Thanks.
Okay.
So what his job was to pick up each cabbage, look for it, look at you know, the qualities of the cabbage, you know, rotted, is it rotted, some worms and all of that, and then put it back and send them, segregate the cabbages basically. And he was doing it forever. I mean, how much boring can life get? So once he was interviewed by whoever, and he was asked, I mean, how are you in this job, you know, for so long? And he said, each cabbage is a work of art. You know, I have been looking at so many cabbages all my life, and not a single one has the same pattern as the other. Each is different. It's a work of art. God is so creative. Even with a cabbage, how and so he went on and on about the beauty of the cabbage. So that is what Sneha just shared. He was so totally involved in his job, and he had converted that into karma yoga. And the cabbage was his ladder for Aruruksha. He was climbing the ladder of Vasana Kshaya through the cabbage. See, so wherever we are, we can convert the same situation to our advantage. That is the only thing here. Isn't it? That's the only thing to be said. Yes. And at the end of the day, about Vasana. Yes, Pragati?
You know, I just wanted to say one other simple way I thought, like in daily life, we can show gratitude or be thankful for that situation and that circumstance or that minute, and which in turn I think gives like a lot of positive attitude towards anything that may be happening. Like even if my job is boring or like so much of stress, if I say, okay, I'm very thankful that I have a job, and I'm getting paid because of that, and I'm able to have like a livelihood, even that stress kind of lessens, and you may not have that negative thoughts towards the job or like whoever is giving you the stress. So if we apply that in any situation, I think thankful and being grateful.
Count your blessings. Yes, we all totally, we ignore all the blessings that we have been, given, even without, even the lowliest among us can count the blessings. The air is free to breathe, so many things, water, sun, I mean, everything just to breathe and just exist. That itself is a blessing which we completely ignore. What if I didn't have this? Huh? Yeah.
No, very true. Very true.
So just to be able to sit and breathe itself is a blessing, which we will not know unless you are in ICU with with something to help you to breathe. So each and everything that we take for granted, let us remember avaga that these are all the blessings in my life. Especially like Pragati said, when you're feeling down, that's the best thing to do. Yes, count the blessings, gratitude. And anything else? At the end of the day, there was one more point which I had picked up from some other talk. Ask yourself, is there anything else I want in my life? Or is there something in my life which I can drop? You can take a checklist. And if there are some unnecessary things, you can drop that. Atara. Is there anything more I want in life? Invariably, we might have a list. But if you really examine it properly, we will discover that I have everything I want already. It's already there. So that's one more baggage of my mind. Idu beku, adu beku, adalla. En bekagilla. Everything is going on. Krishna is taking care, and because I am taking care of Krishna for myself. That's it. Okay. Then we come to the next shloka.
ಅಮ್ಮ ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ.
ಹೇಳಿ.
ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಒಂಥರ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ಸ್ ತರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು.
ಬಟ್ ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ದ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸಿ ಐ ಡಿ ನಾಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್. ನಂಗೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಭಗವಂತ. ಯಾರನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು.
ಹೌದು.
ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ವಿತ್ ಮೈ house, whatever, wherever I am. I am very happy with the place, surrounding. So half an hour I'll keep it in the night while walking. I'll thank God for each and everything what he has given me.
ನೋಡಿದ್ರಾ?
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು
ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ನಾವು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಯಾರ್ದೋ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅವ್ರವ್ರ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಫಲಗಳು. ಸೊ ಐ ಡೂ ದಟ್.
ಹೌದು.
ಅಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಾನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮುಗಿಸೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
So I keep thanking God for whatever he has given me, ma. Whatever ಏನೇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, I am very happy, I am very independent.
Super.
ಆ ತರ ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೂ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. No complaints in my life.
Correct.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ so we have to pay whatever we have done. Time will come. He knows when to give, what to give ಅಂತ.
I think, Purnima, most of us have 80% things going right. 80-90% things will be right. 10-20% will be here and there. So focus is on 10-20 so much that becomes 80% of their worry, cause of worry.
True.
Most of the time.
So unfortunate.
Okay, so even small things like I am listening to your class is a big gift. Think of so many people who are deaf. I'm looking at this, talking about it. Even a walking. I had a ligament tear some time back. So walk was so difficult. Even a small turn or a jerk will just make me, sit on the bed for next 4 days. So that was a situation when I was like, oh my God, I can't do things which I want to do. So thank God now it's all well. Without any surgery. Doctor said without surgery you can't even walk. But then without surgery it is now working for me. So I'm saying that you have to be thankful for so many things that are going right.
Yes, absolutely. That's what Krishna means when he says, I'll take care of your yoga kshema. That's it. So, like Chandra said, see, the complaints are there, but I think they're very superficial, you know. It is just venting. We are not really invested in that complaining so much. We crib about things, which is fine. It is also a therapy. Some of us here are therapists. I think that's also very valid, you know. We have to air our vent and we have to air our grievances. We have to complain. We have to crave. It's perfect. We have to gossip. All that is perfectly fine, but they're all at a very superficial level, isn't it? I don't think we invest too much energy into that. So let's not berate ourselves also too much. It's fine to complain now and then. Once a day, we'll give for complaints, okay? We'll give ourselves that much rope. Chandra avare, ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಹೊತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಯಾಗಿರೋಣ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಏನು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್.
ನಂಗೆ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಒಂಥರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿ. ಆ ಕ್ಷಣನೇ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಆ ಕ್ಷಣನೇ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್. ಆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಬರೀ ಇದೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅದೊಂದು ಲೈಫ್, ಫುಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್.
ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ಮೈ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟು ಯು ಮಾ.
ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ನಿಮ್ಗೂ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರತ್ತಪ್ಪ.
ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿಸಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಸಿಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಬುಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರ್ದೋ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು ಹೌದು, ಇರ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಯೋಗ 6.5. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಚಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್, then Megha has a story. With that we can end today's session. So this is a very beautiful, wonderful shloka, and it is very famous and often quoted by many people.
Or maybe we can do the story first and then this shloka.
Aitappa. Aitu. Helama. I'll just read it first at least, no? Shloka. Amel chant marna ellaru.
Yeah.
Uddharedatmanamatvanam natmanam avasadhayet आत्मैव हि आत्मनो बन्धुः आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः. Beautiful. Every other word is atma here. Once it means self with a capital S, other time it means yes, self with a small s. Somewhere it's a mind, somewhere it is Brahman. Beautiful shloka. So basically it says, elevate yourself through the power of your mind and do not degrade yourself, for the mind can be your friend and also the mind can be your enemy. So this is the tatparya of the shloka. Now let us listen to the story. Megha. Yes.
This story belongs to verse 6.5. Once Swami Mukundananda found a man in tattered clothes standing on the railing of a bridge to commit suicide. Seeing this, Swamiji screamed at him, asking him to stop. He scolded him for this and told him that if he voluntarily rejects his body, God will not give him the gross body in his next life, and he would become a ghost for some time. The person got scared of this and changed his mind. Swamiji then asked him the reason for his worst step, and the person said he is poor and God hasn't given him anything. Swamiji told him he would arrange to give him 10 lakh rupees, but he should give him one thing in return. When the person asked what should he give, Swamiji said he would have to give his 2 legs in return. Then the man said he can't do that. Can't do that. Swamiji then offered him 5 lakhs for his 2 eyes, which again he rejected. Swamiji started pricing the different organs and limbs that he had got, and told him that his net worth is in millions. And so, how can he say that God hasn't given him anything? He told him that God has given us all the essentials when we don't count our blessings and acknowledge things that God has graced us with. We feel impoverished and miserable all the time. When we feel so, we must look inside us, and inside us is the mind, which is very important. The mind can be our worst enemy, and it can be our best friend. So one should make their mind the friend and elevate themselves by elevating the mind. The mind is a place of its own, and it in itself can make a heaven out of hell and hell out of heaven.
Beautiful story. Lovely story, no, by Megha? So appropriate. The mind can become hell out of heaven and heaven out of hell. Wonderful.
Super Megha.
Sakkatagide. So this story tells us how to use the mind. See, that person, he was not willing to take that 5 lakhs and give 1 arm and 1 leg. How stupid. But he was willing to sacrifice his entire body. Huh? Right. Okay, so anybody else? Nirmala is very quiet today. We want to hear from Nirmala, if she can.
For a change, I want to hear, man.
No,
I've been talking too much.
No. Only 5 more minutes, so you can talk today. Tell
Wonderful.
us.
Wonderful. It was wonderful hearing all of you talk. It was amazing. Each one of you spoke so well.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all. Think about this sloka. Uddaret atmanam atmanam. Na atmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva atmano bandhuhu. Atmaiha ripur atmanaha. Just share something about that, Nirmala, and then we'll close.
See, I like the point that the gratefulness part of it.
Yeah.
If you are grateful, you will be showered with more and more opportunities where you will be grateful.
Correct.
The universe will respond to you. If you are ungrateful, believe it or not, wherever you go, you will be ungrateful.
Yeah.
It's your attitude. And that is what you will get.
Right.
If you are grateful, somehow universe will see to it that you are, showered with such more wonderful, situation in which you'll be more grateful.
Correct.
Our presence in this Atmajyoti class itself is a big bounty we have found. Because we are able to express our inner feelings, which you cannot talk with anybody else. You cannot speak all this to anybody. Number one, either they will brand you.
Yes.
What you're talking, man. Some high philosophy. And then they'll say, nobody wants to talk about their minus points. But here we speak about our minus points, and we find a way to, get over those.
Yes. Very true.
And it is a group effort. So what I cannot see, you can see very easily. It's easy for finding fault. See how easily you can find fault with others. But finding fault with yourself, you can't do.
Yeah.
The same way, the helping also you can do. I'll have a headache. Somebody else comes and complains to me about their headache, and I'll give them 101 solutions. But when I get headache, I don't know what to do.
Yes.
I just scratch my head and sit.
Helpless.
Oh, I have a headache. It's somebody else who has to come and help me out of this thing. So this is how, we help each other and, progress.
Yes.
And you yourself, by coming to the right places, you know how to get out of tough situations.
Yeah.
And Dharma Kshetra is one such thing. And coming to Prabhuji has been a wonder.
We have
His
done
grace.
Yeah, Uddharet. We
Grace.
have tried to help ourselves. This whole
Yes.
shloka is about help yourself. Come on, get
Yes.
up. Hmm.
Yes.
Take
The
up your
help.
bow.
Yes. The help, we have one act. Just one act I did. I was introduced to this by Vani.
Ashte.
And then there is no turning back.
That's it.
Then I got into Dharma Kshetra also. Finished. Game over. My life is made. Thank you. Thank you for this class.
Yeah.
Thank you for you and your team.
You, Nirmala.
Just to add on to Nirmala, like I was in Ernakulam yesterday morning. Today morning 6:15, I just came by auto. And then it's like, okay, fine, took bath, got ready. Right, first thing in the morning, I'll go for this class.
Yeah. That is what we are doing. Uddharet Atmanam Atmanam. Use your mind to elevate yourself, which is what we are all doing. All of us who are here, we have done that. Wonderful. So this is the self-effort is what Krishna is stressing over here. I can tell you things, but you have to make the effort. Yes.
To the extent that we have become intoxicated with this class and we come running from wherever, whatever.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, anybody else? We are more or less done for today. Anybody else? You please, Rahul, quiet agidira. Heli enadro.
So I was looking at this last two shlokas with a scientific lens. So ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಯಜ್ಞಗಳು ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ಮಗಳನ್ನ ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯಿಂದ ಡಿಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಗುರುಗಳು ನಂಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಯಜ್ಞಗಳದು ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಆ ಹೋಮದ ಹವಿಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹಾಕೋ ತುಪ್ಪ, ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಅರ್ಘ್ಯಗಳದೆಲ್ಲ, when it burns, it actually burns the negative energy in the environment ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ. So ನಾವು environment na naturally as human beings we are polluting it only actually. ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಹೊರತು ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಾಪಸ್ ಅಂತೂ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಈ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಯಜ್ಞಗಳನ್ನ ಅವಾಗ ಮಾಡೋ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಟು ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬರ್ನ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್.
ವೆರಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡೋರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಅ ಬಿಗ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹೋಲಿಯರ್ ದನ್ ಪ್ರೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಟುಕ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೆ ಖಂಡಿತ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇಫ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್, ವಿತ್ ದ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್, ನಮ್ ಕರ್ಮನ ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ that itself scientifically creates beautiful hormone secretions in the brain, and we will have a beautiful happy life. So I think nana scientific lens is what I was looking at it. So
very perfectly said. Correct. So that is why pancha yagnas have been recommended, no Rahul?
Correct.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಯಜ್ಞ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಪಂಚಯಜ್ಞಗಳು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ ಮಾಡು. ಭೂತ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ, ಪಿತೃ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ, ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ, ಜ್ಞಾನ ಯಜ್ಞ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ, ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. ಒಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಸ್ವಭಾವ, our inclination. Just go on doing it ashte.
Absolutely.
I want to add with what Rahul said. It seems when you perform yajna,
Mhm.
the ghee smoke which goes, it can close those pores in this thing in the atmosphere.
Ozone
There
hole.
is a ozone
Ozone
this thing they say,
layer.
no?
Uh-huh.
Means that is closed with the yajna's ghee smoke. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, this thing is there, no? Yajna prasadam we have. They just take a small cup and give you just 1 spoon, and all the rest is wasted. It is thrown in the earth. What is this? What are they doing? They're performing such a big yajna, such a big thing, and prasadam they give a little bit. The rest of it all they throw it. What is the yajna all about? I don't understand. That is how I think. Suddenly one fine day I got an answer. It seems the food, the vegetable and the fruits, the earth itself is energized. And the vegetable and fruits we get out of it is tastier in India than in other countries. Why? Because of all the yajnas performed, the whole thing is re-energized. Just like how they do, no? Every 12 years, they re-dharna, they do to that, consecrate that statue. The same way, the whole place is all re-energized. Every time you do more japa, more yajna, more thing, the whole atmosphere is cleansed and then re-energized. That is why India is called a puja room of the world. It's so powerful. Because you just have to chant one Gayatri mantra and immediately the antenna goes and touches the abundance, the abundant chanting which has been already done. It is just above us and you're connected and you derive the benefits. That is why Gayatri mantra is so powerful because so many people have chanted it. So many people have chanted it. And you can just, it is just like touching the udder of the cow and the milk flows. The same way you're touching just that little thing with your little antenna and you get a full benefit. How lucky we are.
True, very true.
That's what.
Yes, all the practices that our ancestors had, they were all beneficial to the entire creation, So that's what the food stuff that we throw out, that is bhuta yajna. So many creatures eat it and it nourishes the ground also. We don't have to put artificial fertilizer. All this itself is fertilizer, right? So yeah, correct. The more meditation, the more satsang happening in the world, the more the vibrations will cleanse the environment. Correct?
Always Prabhuji will say, may this yajna we did, let it give peace to the whole world.
How do?
I was just thinking, how is it going to give peace? We had a yajna here. Now is it going to give peace to the whole world? But then, the vibrations. Just like how you see, when I speak to you, I can hear 1-to-1. But when I sing, the distance is much farther. A music, for example, if Rahul sings for us, the effect is amazing.
Thank you, Nirmala.
No, it is not like that. We want to hear you sing a little more for every class. That's what. The small bait I put, you fell for it. So that's how you give us back.
Certainly.
Correct. Nija. Yeah.
Nirmala put her point very clearly. She has, put this Rahul to-do list in every class.
Yeah. And I want to tell you that Sneha is also a singer and she teaches also classical music. And Ramamani ji also sings beautifully. I think we have a beautiful, very talented souls here.
Everybody should, all those people who can sing, they have more power. They can give more power to this class. The speakers are not as powerful as the singers.
And they can give more power to themselves also, because when they're singing, they are in meditation, isn't it? Yes. I think it's such a blessing to be able to sing.
One kelsa kodi sing. All singers have to one class ke one singer has to sing something.
Haudu. So who will end with one nice song today? Please. Anything. Paluku. Come Paluku.
Rahul, start off.
ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳಿ ಮುಗಿಸೋಣ ಇವತ್ತು. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತೀವಿ ಹೇಳಿ.
Sure. There, I'll just put the Shruti on the ನಿಮಿಷ. This is a vachana of Basavanna, which is, I think, very much in tune with the discussion today. So, ಕಲ್ಲನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಹಾಲನು ಎರೆಯೆಂಬರೋ, ಕಲ್ಲನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಹಾಲನು ಎರೆಯೆಂಬರೋ, ದಿಟದ ನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಕೊಲ್ಲು ಎಂಬರಯ್ಯ, ಕಲ್ಲನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಹಾಲನು ಎರೆಯೆಂಬರೋ, ದಿಟದ ನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಕೊಲ್ಲು ಎಂಬರಯ್ಯ, ಕಲ್ಲನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಹಾಲನು ಎರೆಯೆಂಬರೋ. ಉಂಬಜಂಗಮ ಬಂದರೆ ನಡೆ ಎಂಬರೋ, ಉಂಬಜಂಗಮ ಬಂದರೆ ನಡೆ ಎಂಬರೋ, ಉಣದ ಲಿಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬೋನವ ಹಿಡಿ ಎಂಬರಯ್ಯ, ಕುಂಭಜಂಗಮ ಬಂದರೆ ನಡೆ ಎಂಬರೋ, ಉಣದ ಲಿಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬೋನವ ಹಿಡಿ ಎಂಬರಯ್ಯ, ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗನ ಶರಣರ ಕಂಡು ದಾಸೀನವ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಕಲ್ಲತಾಗಿದ ಮೆಟ್ಟೆಯಂತ ಪರಯ್ಯ, ಉಣದ ಲಿಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬೋನವ ಹಿಡಿ ಎಂಬರಯ್ಯ, ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗನ ಶರಣರ ಕಂಡು ದಾಸೀನವ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಕಲ್ಲತಾಗಿದ ಮೆಟ್ಟೆಯಂತ ಪರಯ್ಯ, ಕಲ್ಲನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಹಾಲನು ಎರೆಯೆಂಬರೋ, ದಿಟದ ನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಕೊಲ್ಲು ಎಂಬರಯ್ಯ, ಕಲ್ಲನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಹಾಲನು ಗೆರೆಯಿಂಬರೋ
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Singing as well as the lyrics itself, they were so beautiful.
Today is the first day I feel very sad. I don't know Kannada, man.
Okay, you can explain that.
Quick one.
ಸೊ ಕಲ್ಲನಾಗರ ಕಂಡರೆ ಹಾಲನು ಏರೆ ಎಂಬರು. ಸೊ ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ಒಂದು ನಾಗರ ಇದು ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಲು
Arey, don't do that also in Canada. Finished, man.
ಸೊ ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಈ ನಾಗ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾಗರ ಕಲ್ಲು ಇರ್ತಲ್ಲ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ದ ಸ್ನೇಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್
worship a stone nagara, but when a real snake comes, you you beat it with a stick.
Correct.
When a beggar comes asking for alms, you shoo him away. But you go and give offering in a temple to Lord Shiva, to a linga.
ಉಣದ ಲಿಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ತಿಂದೇರ ಒಂದು
the one who doesn't, you are giving it to a stone, but you don't want to give it to a person who is in need of food. So the hypocrisy and the pure ajnana is being talked about here.
Correct.
There is no coordination between her head, heart and hands. That is what Prabhuji always says. The head, the heart and the hand should always be in coordination. What you are thinking, what you are talking, what you are doing, they should all be integrated, which is not happening in a mechanical life that we are doing. If you are mechanical in your actions and your thoughts, you are not putting any thought to it. So that was the whole beautiful vachana that he sang.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
So next class, Neha is going to sing for us. And the other next class, Sumati is going to sing for us. We'll make sure she comes and attends. She is also a great singer. Okay? All right, Sneha?
My best. And Rahul, it was wonderful.